If your client inquiries go quiet the moment you stop posting, you don't have a visibility problem, you have a system problem. Most personal trainers think getting more clients is about doing more content, more posts, more effort. But the trainers who consistently bring in 10 to 20 clients a month aren't doing more. They're running a system that creates demand for them. And once that's in place, inquiries stop feeling random. When I started out as a personal trainer, I was doing exactly what most trainers do, working hard, coaching well, and trying to stay visible. I built boot camps, I had clients, I was busy, but my inquiries were inconsistent. Some weeks I'd get a run of messages, other weeks, nothing. And every time that happened, I assumed the same thing. I need to push harder, post more, be more active, do more. But that never fixed it because the issue wasn't effort, it was structure. I didn't have a system creating demand consistently, and until that changed, my income stayed unpredictable. Most personal training businesses aren't actually built to generate clients consistently. They're built around whatever happens to bring people in. You post when you have time. You rely on word of mouth. You get the occasional referral. Maybe a message comes in from Instagram, or when things go quiet, you react. You post more, you reach out, you try to create momentum again. But there's no underlying structure, no system quietly working in the background. So inquiries come in waves. A good week feels great, a slow week creates pressure. And over time, that turns into unstable revenue. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your demand isn't being created deliberately. It's happening randomly. If you look at your last few weeks, you can probably see the pattern. Some weeks you get a few inquiries, other weeks nothing happens. And when that happens, you push, you post more, you try and get things moving again. But underneath that, there's nothing in your business consistently bringing people in. So the pattern repeats. You push, inquiries come in, then it goes quiet again. Nothing has really changed. But when you have something in place that brings people in every week, that's when things start to feel different. Not perfect, but steady. And that's the shift. You don't need to push harder. You need something working in the background, bringing people to you. So what does something working in the background actually look like? It's not one thing. It's a few simple ways your business brings people in consistently. When you break it down, it usually comes from four places. Content, people finding you through what you share. Lead magnets, turning that attention into actual inquiries. Referrals, your current clients bringing new people in. And search, people actively looking for help and finding you. That's it. Nothing complicated, but when those four are working together, your visibility stops depending on how you feel that day, and inquiries start to become more consistent. The first part of the system is content. This is simply how people become aware of you. Not because you're chasing them, but because you're showing up consistently in places they already are. Now, this is where a lot of trainers get stuck. They think content means posting more or trying to go viral. It doesn't. Content just needs to do one job. Help the right person understand that you can help them. That's it. That might be a short video explaining something simple. It might be a post answering a common question your clients ask, or it might just be you sharing how you approach training. Nothing complicated, but when you do that consistently, you stay visible. And over time, the right people start to recognize you. Content isn't about attention, it's about familiarity. And familiarity is what creates inquiries. The second part of the system is capture. This is where most of the leakage happens because you're already getting attention. People see your content, they check your profile, they look at what you do, and then they disappear. Not because they're not interested, but because there's no clear next step. There's nothing for them to move into. That's what capture fixes. It turns attention into a lead. Something simple, a short guide, a quick quiz, a small challenge. Even just a clear way to book a consultation. Remember, you're not trying to impress people here. You're just giving them an easy next step, because without that, attention gets wasted. The third part of the system is referrals. Most trainers already get some of these. Client tells a friend, someone mentions you to a colleague, you pick up a new client here and there. But it's inconsistent because it's not designed. It just happens when it happens. The difference with stable businesses is they don't leave that to chance. They build it into the client journey. At the right moment, they prompt it. When a client gets a result, when they're feeling good about their progress, when they've just had a great session. That's when referrals happen naturally. You're not forcing anything, you're just making it easy. Because stable businesses don't wait for referrals, they design them. The fourth part of the system is search. This is where people are already looking for help and they find you. Think about how your clients behave. When they decide they want to get fitter or lose weight, they don't scroll forever. They search. They search personal trainer near me, how do I lose weight, best gym in my area. And when you show up there, those aren't cold inquiries. They're ready. This is high intent. You're not convincing someone to care because they already do. You're just being visible when they're looking, and that's the shift. Search brings people to you instead of you chasing them. When you put these pieces together, it's actually very simple. You create content that helps the right person. That content leads them to something useful, a guide, a quiz, or a clear next step. They then join your email list or book in. You follow up. You have a structured conversation, and some of those people become clients. That's the loop. And the key is it repeats every week. Not when you feel motivated, not when things go quiet, but consistently. Because once that loop is running, you're not starting from zero every month. You're building momentum. So when you step back and look at this, the difference is actually very simple. Unpredictable businesses rely on effort. You push, things happen. You stop, and things slow down. But stable businesses don't work like that. They have something in place that's consistently bringing people in. So inquiries don't feel random, they feel steady. And when inquiries become steady, revenue starts to stabilize as well. If you're listening to this and thinking, I don't actually know which part of this is missing in my business, that's exactly why I built the Growth Engine Scorecard. It's a short assessment that shows you where your inquiries are leaking, what stage you're currently at, and what needs putting in place first. It only takes a few minutes, but it gives you a clear starting point. You'll find the link below. Now, out of everything we've covered, this is where most businesses lose the most opportunities. They get attention, but they don't turn it into leads. And that's the gap. So in the next video, I'll show you how to build a simple lead magnet that actually turns attention into inquiries. Because once you fix that, everything else in the system starts working properly.